What's up, folks? My name is Eric Hughes, PDGA number 89764, sponsored by Infinite Discs, and I want to let you guys know what's in my bag. So starting off with putters, I've got two KC Pro AVRs. These have been my putters for 1 or 2 years. Sometimes I switch them out, try new things, but I'm always going back to these. They're pretty worn, so they're just dead straight into the basket. These are really reliable. Love the AVR. Approach discs. I've got 3 putt and approach discs right here. First one's gonna be this Z Zone. Zone's your typical overstable approach disc, forehand or backhand. This thing is reliable. I like the stiffer Z plastic so you can get good skips. I'm really liking this disc. I've got the Splatter S-Blend Tomb is the next one. This is a low profile, flat top approach disc by Infinite Discs. I like this disc for those technical forehand approaches. It's really workable, it's really good with the shot shaping capabilities, and it holds a very true line. I really like this disc. And then my go-to backhand approach disc currently is the D Blend Cohort. This is again a little flat top, but it's got a little more dome. I really like it for the power grip, and it, again, same thing, kind of like the Tomb, it holds a pretty true straight line with has a little more, just a touch fade at the end. So very workable, really nice for the backhand approaches. Moving on to my mid-ranges, I've got 3 ranging stabilities. My most understable is gonna be this ESP Comet right here. Again, another really shapeable disc. You know, you pop it up on hyzer, it flips up to flat, maybe turns a little bit, and just settles down nice and flat. Really good disc, and partly the reason why I like this disc is because it's like a premium plastic seasoned rock, which is my go-to mid-range. So this is, I mean, you know, I like my DX rocks and my BF KCs, but something about having one in premium plastic already beaten in is like a godsend. It's really great. And so, like I was mentioning, my go-to straight mid-range is going to be a KC Pro Rock right here. This is a Sake Bomb edition. For whatever reason, this one's money. It's got, you know, it's not too domey, it's not flat, it has a nice little rise in the shoulder here, and this thing is just straight for days with a nice consistent fade. I really like this rock. Got a couple backups too, so that's good. And then my overstable approach disc is going to be the Raw. The Raw is a V rock with an X3 top. So it's like a Rock X3, but with a touch more glide in the mid flight of it. So it gets really good carry, but then you're going to get really good, a nice dump at the end when you want a little more headwind approaches than the KC Rock. Moving on to fairways, I've got 5 fairways. First one, least stable, is going to be this S-Blend Sphinx right here. This disc is probably one of my favorite fairways in the bag right now. Mentioned it before, you know, Shot Shaper Pro right here. I can do just about anything with the disc. It has a nice penetrating fade. You throw it flat, you're going to get some turn, but then a nice little fade at the end. This is also my go-to roller disc as well. Next up are going to be Exodus. The Exodus, and I have 2 of them, both in S-Blend plastic. This first one is going to be the least stable of them. This one's like a notch up in stability from the Sphinx. So if I want like a tighter line, because it has a little less glide and a little more fade, so if I want a tighter line than the S-Blend Sphinx, then I'm going to pull this one out. This is a really nice flyer. Really well seasoned. And then I've got a newer S-Blend Exodus in here. This is pretty comparable. It's like a T-Bird, maybe like a TL. You can just punch it flat as hard as you want, and it's just gonna go dead straight, maybe a little bit of turn, and then just have a nice soft finish. So this is just your go-to straight fairway right here. And then lastly, I've been bagging the Onyx right here. The Onyx is, it's your nice overstable hybrid distance fairway driver. I kind of use it as a more stable Exodus. I like it because you can use it as an overstable shot shaper. You can flex it and it's gonna come back out. You can forehand it and it's gonna hold a pretty true line. Again, a nice rise in the shoulder. I kind of compare this to, it sounds weird, but it feels like a 9-10 speed T-Bird in the hand. Yeah, even more so than the Thunderbird. Kind of weird, but I'm really liking the Onyx. And then my last fairway right here is gonna be the Scepter. This is my overstable fairway driver, 9-speed rim, flat top. This is like your typical Firebird. I use it for most forehand approaches if I'm not using the zone. I use it for thumbers, I use it for forehand rollers, just about everything. This is a really go-to utility disc. It's pulled out just about every round. And then lastly are gonna be my distance drivers. I've got 5 of them right now. My least stable currently is gonna be this, it's a pre-flight Champion Wraith right here. This one, punch it flat, gonna get some turn, gonna get some fade, put it on Annie, it's gonna hold it for the most part until it hits the ground. Just a really good, reliable disc to have. In tailwinds, I'm probably not gonna use this one, I'm probably gonna use the Sphinx more, but this is still a really good, reliable distance driver. And then the next step up in stability is gonna be this Scorpius right here. This is a first run. I really like the plastic. It's just, this is probably the oldest disc in my bag right now. And it's just all reliable. Just straight to fade, a little bit of headwind. It's gonna get some turn, but it will still come back. It has that integrity. And then lastly, the last 3 of them are gonna be Emperors. Funny enough, I mostly use these for forehands. I just don't have an Emperor that's seasoned to that perfect straight, basically like this Scorpius or like this Wraith, still kind of looking for them. But this one is gonna be like a 167 splatter Emperor. This is my go-to distance forehand disc. So pop it up on hyzer, you're gonna flip it to flat, maybe get a little bit of turn, and then nice fade at the end. I like the Emperors for forehand because they have a really tight line to them, so they're not gonna get too far away from me or get too much fade by any means. So this is my distance one. Next step up in stability is gonna be this Garrett Girthy Edition Emperor Metal Flake. Good dome to it, so, sorry there's a bug in my face. Good dome to it, so I still get a lot of really great distance. It doesn't really turn much, but it just penetrates forward and has a nice fade. This will also be my next step up in stability for my backhand. So this is a good headwind fighter, will just kind of sit down nicely right in front of you. Distance backhand if I really want to get over on an Annie, and it's just going to glide and then slowly fade out. This is a really nice Emperor. I can't wait to see how it'll season in. And then my last disc in the bag is this year's Garrett Girthy Edition Emperor. This is the swirly S-bend plastic, and this thing is a meat hook compared to the other Emperors. This guy, even the Scorpius, this guy's got good dome to it. It carries, but it's so stable. I throw it backhand and just wants to just get left and have a good skip to it. Forehand, same thing. It's just gonna hold that hyzer and then just skip off. Again, I can't wait to see how this beats in too. This is a really nice disc. So that's what I got for you. That's what I'm bagging. I hope you guys enjoyed. It's really great to be sponsored by Infinite Disc because I can have a mixed bag. I'm basically, in my opinion, throwing the best molds that I've found out of each company, while still being pleasantly surprised by what Infinite Disc has to offer, right? Like the Raw and the Tomb and even the Sphinx. Like these discs, every time I throw them, I'm just continually surprised. Yeah, go check them out if you haven't already, and thank you for watching my In the Bag.